Cameroon, Guinea-Bissau, Sierra Leone, gotta let me show ya, Nigeria, Bioko Island, Liberia, I wanna know ya, Cameroon, Guinea-Bissau, Sierra Leone, gotta let me show ya, Nigeria, Bioko Island, Liberia, I wanna know ya, let it all hang out. DNA brings cigar people out. The artistic, so gifted. African ancestry gets it. Yes, they black owned for the people. In the roots, they will find your sequel. Genetic test in the process, peaceful. Reunite, multiply with your equals. Black scientists, research it. Invest in that time, you're worth it. Experience feels so perfect. Get on the right path to your purpose. No other in the industry like this. Find your link to a tribe, precise kit. Mende people, Mendenga, Volanta, the house. I wanna know ya, Cameroon, Guinea-Bissau, Sierra Leone, gotta let me show ya, Nigeria, Bioko Island, Liberia. I wanna know ya, Cameroon, Guinea-Bissau, Sierra Leone, gotta let me show ya, Nigeria, Bioko Island, Liberia. I wanna know ya, AfricanAncestry.com. The pioneers in genetic tracing for black people. Since 2003, doing what no other in the industry can do. By tracing your DNA to the present day African country, ethnic group, or tribe. What better time than now to find out where you came from? Order your kit today.
Hey y'all, how you doing? I feel like we need to change our theme song to "It's a Family Affair." I can't sing, but the family is in the house. I'm Gina Page. I'm the president and co-founder of AfricanAncestry.com. We are the pioneers of genetic ancestry tracing for Black people all over this entire world. We reconnect people to the continent of Africa through their DNA, and we get very specific down to one branch of your family tree and the present day African country and ethnic group or tribe that you share ancestry with. And we come to you every Wednesday that we can to chop it up with the family, to reconnect, to talk about different things, to learn something new, to celebrate each other, and to celebrate Black people around the world. So I'm happy to be here with you. Shout out to Wendi Cherry, who holds it down. She's the the African Ancestry Lives producer. We're not just on Facebook, we're on YouTube. Shout out to everybody who's watching us on YouTube. I'm so glad you're here. So we had a hiccup. We started at 7, but then the tech gremlins got us. So we're back. And you all know I like to give a gift to the first person who comments. And the first person was Yehosef. So if he comes back on, then he's the winner. And he's going to get the this pendant. So I'm wearing this pendant so that I can give it away. This is our small continent pendant. It's a sterling silver pendant. You can get it at AfricanAncestry.com for $45. But Yehosef is the winner. If I see him on here tonight, if he comes back, if he doesn't, then the first person to comment was Yakota. So it's yours, Yakota, if your host stuff doesn't show up. So welcome everybody, Yakota, Jane, Mahawa, Menelik, Avanti, Herman Baker. Nice to see you. Mary, I got your email, so your gift is in the mail. Kim Wright is here. Mondrial, Plachette, I saw you in the Facebook comments. Good to see you. Shout out to Nola, our New Orleans family in the house. Hi, Wanda and Daniel. Eddie Hughes is here. My favorite, Our Cafe Cubano. Keys. You all would think that I like coffee as much as I love that name. I'm just glad to be here. We have something unique for you all tonight, something unique to talk about. But before we do, I want to remind you about our latest campaign, the Why You Matter campaign. And we are really stoked about this. Diallo and I had a conversation with the folks over at Travel Noir last week, I think. Yeah, last week. And he's the poster child for our Why You Matter campaign. We are focusing on the brothers, all of you with a Y chromosome. It's so important that everybody know where they're from. And as the leaders of families, as the leaders of communities, we want to see you all take the lead in knowing where you're from, because you all know when you take an African ancestry test, be it a maternal test or a paternal test, those results are the same for everybody in the family at that part of the family reunion, right? We're talking about legacy, we're talking about lineage. And so this is something that you can share with everybody on either side of the family. So we're encouraging, we set ourselves a lofty goal. We want to get 2,022 brothers to take a test by Father's Day 2022. If we can hit that mark, we're going to have a huge celebration of Black men, because Black men matter. We all matter, but I'm celebrating Black men right now, right here. Norma's here. Oh, Norma, you don't have any audio? Okay, maybe you could go in and come back. Oh, what happened? Oh, Diallo left. Come in, go out and come back in. We got Little Rock, Arkansas in the house. Ghana's here with King Kwabena. Maître Coupe is here. Are you in France or somewhere English speaking? I'm so happy to see all of you all. So let me introduce our guest. Everybody's coming in. Hey, Thomas. Hey, Vicky. Okay, see, I get so distracted. And Wendi made me a sheet to follow. So let me follow my follow my sheet. So our guest tonight is Titi Daniel Oni, and I am so happy to have her here because what she's doing is powerful. You don't know how many times I've talked to people who were born in Africa, who are raising their kids here. Their kids were born here, and they've said that their children, they're like, Gina, the work you're doing is so great. My kids need to learn about Africa. They are completely American, and they don't know anything about what it means to live in Africa. They haven't learned the language, all of these things. So it seems like many of us are seeking a connection to the continent, not just those of us who were the descendants of those who were disconnected during the slave trade. But Titi, an accountant by day, saw a need. So she has 3 children under 10. God bless her. I should start off by saying she's a superhero, because I think all mothers are superheroes. I don't know how you all do it, but I am constantly amazed by the mothers that I know, and the fact that they hold it down at work, they hold it down at home, and they have these amazing children. So let me start over. Titi Daniel Oni is a superwoman. She is an accountant by day, and she is also the mother of 3 children under 10. And she realized that her kids didn't understand or know about what it means to live in Africa. So she saw a need and she filled it. She created this app called Rubies Africa, and the app is incredible. I hope you all don't run to the app store to get your copy of the app. We're going to talk about it, but it's for kids and adults. And what it is it's short stories about Africa and poems about Africa. She has gotten people to do voiceover. She's gotten the most talented artists to do illustrations. And so we're going to talk more about it with her, because she can talk about it better than I can. I would like for you guys to throw up some Nigeria flags for my cousin from Nigeria, who's now living in Columbus, Ohio, Titi Daniel Oni. Hey, girl, how you doing?
Hello. Hi, Gina. Thanks for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for being here. What are you talking about? Yes, I want to see those Nigeria flags. Thank you. Thank you. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. We got our cousin from Nigeria in the house. Yes. Thank you, people. Thank you very much. I see somebody with your same last name. I wonder if that's someone who's related to you. Temi Oni is
That's my husband.
Oh, okay. So you are related. Very good. Welcome, Temi. Thank you for sharing Titi with us. So Titi, tell us, I talked about, I gave you a little bit of a bio. I know you're kind of humble and we're like, let's just get straight to it. But can you talk more about, in your own words, why creating this app was so important for you?
Okay, thank you once again for having me. So like I said, coming to the United States of America, my husband and I already knew that at some point, our kids will be cut off from Africa and, the beautiful memories and, the beautiful people, the tribes, the names, the traditions that we grew up knowing. But I think it dawned on us sometime in 2017. I recall we were watching an African movie, and then I remember a woman was stepping out of the house holding a local broom. This is something very common in Africa, right? So my oldest, who was about 7 at the time, or going on 7, had asked, what's she holding? And my husband and I were like, that's a broom. And then he's like, what's she going to use it for? We were shocked. She's going to use it to sweep the floor. So it was at that point we realized that this is what we've been talking about, right? So I made up my mind at that time that I was going to come up with something at some point to, start introducing it to them in some subtle way. And the first thing that came to my mind was short stories, stories that they can relate with. It doesn't have to be, African kids. It can be anyone who's just interested in, learning more about the continent in a fun and engaging way, is a starting point, I believe. So that was how, the whole thing started. And I think it's important because it just creates cultural awareness for kids and for people generally. It gives them understanding, of the continent of Africa. And I think the second reason why the Rubies Africa app is important is because it's a way we also empower African creatives like our authors, our illustrators, African voiceover artists. We give them some kind of representation and opportunity to showcase their talents. I feel like African creatives, especially illustrators and voiceover artists, haven't been so much in the forefront, of the digital world. So that's one of the things, the app brings to life. I think the last thing is also representation for African stories and fairy tales in terms of, having them on technology platforms that are sustainable. I know lots of, storybooks, African storybooks that have not made their way to being digital copies, right? So this makes it available for people anywhere in the world. So those three things, I think: cultural awareness, empowerment for African creatives, and sustainable technology. I think that's why I believe the Rubies Africa app is important.
So let's show them the app. We have a video of the app Wendy's going to play.
Okay.
Do you love Africa? Would you like to learn more about African history, culture, and traditions? Download the Rubies Africa mobile app today and gain access to beautifully illustrated stories from Africa. The Rubies Africa app is a perfect medium for kids and adults to...
Okay, wait. We couldn't see the it wasn't playing, Wendi. It was just the white background. We'll try it one more time. Sometimes we just aren't having good we did practice this, you guys. We're not having good internet luck today, but Wendy's going to pull that up because it's beautiful. So I went on and I looked at the first story, like you said, and then I subscribed. So I want to encourage everybody to go to your app store on your phone,
Play Store, App Store, Play Store,
or Play Store if you're a Google, and then subscribe. So it's not enough just to read the first story. Don't cheat yourself. Don't cheat yourself. Now let's talk about some of the stories that you have. You have them for different age groups, right?
Yes.
So how are the age groups broken up?
So we have age 4 to 6. We have age 7 to 12, and then we have 13 and above.
Okay, and so how how do they differ? Is it the same story just told in a more complex way, or are the stories different by age
Yes.
group?
Yeah. So most of the stories for age 4 to 6 are kind of simpler. You know, the words are easier to understand. The concept is easier to understand because we put, you know, the age of the readers in view while we're writing the stories. And it's the same for 7 to 12. You want a 7-year-old to read the story and be able to understand, you know, what they are reading. But I promise you, my kids have read all the stories on the app. They've read like over and over again. And I know so many people who have said the same thing. So regardless of which one you read, you would still learn. The only thing is sometimes you're considering the age of the reader and you want them to fully grasp what is being said or
Right.
being taught in the story.
Okay, I think we have the video again.
Do you love Africa? Would
There
you
we
like
go.
to learn more about African history, culture, and traditions? Download the Rubies Africa mobile app today and gain access to beautifully illustrated stories from Africa. The Rubies Africa app is a perfect medium for kids and adults to learn about African concepts, beliefs, history, and ideologies in a fun and engaging way. With carefully selected authors and illustrators from all over Africa, we bring you content that is entertaining, engaging, and educative. Download the app and get your first free story. Rubies Africa, now available on Play Store and App Store.
I love it. I just think it's so cool. Now, how did
you.
you curate the stories? There's so many stories. How did you decide which ones to start with?
So I would just, you know, I planned it out, wrote out some of the, say, virtues we want to teach in a certain story, what culture or tribe we're trying to feature, you know, what names, what idea, what tradition, what festival, you know. So when we write this down, or what country we're trying to showcase. So once we come up with that, we decide on what idea of story should fit, you know, this description. And I have a group of talented authors, all wonderful young Africans who have, you know, partnered and supported this project. They come up with, you know, I give them the idea of what the story we want to showcase would look like, and they come up with all kind of, you know, beautiful stories. So yes, that's how we come about it. We plan it, we tell them exactly the message we're trying to pass across, and then they run with it.
Okay, so I learned something. That's even bigger than what I thought. I thought it was a combination of you know, stories original stories, but then also stories that maybe have been passed down through families or through communities. But you're actually making unique stories. So these aren't stories that you'll find anywhere else.
No. Majority of them are not found anywhere else. The idea being passed across may be some things existing already. For example, there's a story there about, I think it's Izaga, the wind flying masquerade. That's an actual festival that happens in some part of Nigeria, in the eastern part of Nigeria, but the story is fiction, right? So we're trying to showcase that particular festival, but then it's written with some storyline around it. So yeah, the stories are all unique to the app. You don't find them anywhere else.
Listen, you all, we're also in the middle of Black Business Month. So we've got a Black business owner. She's part of the African Ancestry family by default. She was born into the African Ancestry family. She hails from from the same country as so many of us that are on this, that are in the comments tonight. So I really want to encourage you all to download the app and just go on and subscribe for the year. Don't mess around with, I know there's like there are different levels. Just go ahead and subscribe for the year. And then you can learn the stories. And when you come across some kids, you can like, if you're out to dinner, so if you're like me and you don't have any kids, but then you go out or you're trying to talk to a friend who has kids and the kids are harassing you, you can give them your phone or give them your app and have them read and listen to the stories. So that's the other thing. I noticed that you have music, you have narration, but I imagine the kid could also read themselves at a certain level. It doesn't have to be narrated, right? Or you can
Yes,
read it
yes.
yourself
They
to
can
the
they can
kid.
turn that off. Yes, yes.
And I heard your voice on there, TT.
Yes. I
So
had to do some narration myself.
what made you decide to do that? Was it just out of necessity, or is that part of your superpowers that you're an actress too?
Yes, so it's part of my superpowers. I wrote some of the stories. I narrated some of them, but I didn't illustrate anyone. I don't have that superpower. But I guess it's part of what I was trying to say initially, that one of the objectives of the project is also to empower African creatives. So many people, so many Africans can illustrate African. They can do illustrations, but they need to be educated about what an African woman looks like, what an African man
Mm.
dresses like, what an African setup looks like. So when they get to take up these stories, they are able to, go learn, they go read. It educates them somehow. It empowers them. But then I found out that we were also kind of lacking some narrators for certain tribes or certain languages. We had reached out to some schools who were looking to partner with us, and they said they wanted narratives on them, right? So we had to start looking for some narrators for certain tribes who had the accent. They said they wanted it original. And at some point, I had to take up this huge task of learning how certain tribes would pronounce certain things and say certain things. So I'm surprised that you knew it was me. But yes, I think I probably did that well.
Well, I'm gonna say I saw that at the end it said that you were the narrator of the one I listened to, so I cheated.
Oh,
But
okay.
that's
Okay.
really good to know, because what I'm hearing you say is that not only is it important to you to tell stories about the continent of Africa, but to be culturally competent within those stories. So making sure that
Yes.
the images are correct, to make sure that the traditions
Represent.
are correct,
Yes.
and to make sure that it sounds right.
Yes.
How many? Yeah, I sometimes listen to books on Audible, the Audible app, and I can't tell you how many times there's been a story that I've listened to, and the narrator didn't sound like the cover
What they're
led me
reading.
to believe that the characters were going to look like. And it was very
Exactly.
distracting. It's happened to me 2 or 3 times, and I've actually put a comment that there's a disconnect between the what I'm hearing and the visual, what I'm seeing, or even what they're saying, the way the way it's written, it
The
doesn't sound right.
sound.
So I
Yes.
appreciate that that you've taken that into account in the creation.
Yes,
So
that's
what's the
very
hardest
important.
part? What's been the hardest part of this whole process?
I think the hardest part has been the coordination because we're working with people in Nigeria, in Ghana, Rwanda, um, um, Sierra Leone, South Africa. I have a writer in Dubai, and then we have here in the US. So we have like over 32 creatives that worked on the app, and I have to touch base with each and every one of them, review the work they are doing, have them make corrections. You know, we can receive a narration at some point, and you have to go through text by text. And my kids have been fantastic. My oldest would help me read over and over again before a story goes live. And it's like, oh, mom, there's a mistake. We have to correct this just to make sure everything is on point. So it's a lot of work. I promise
Yeah.
you, it's a lot of work. But I think that's the most complex part of it is just the coordination. Aside that, it's been fun.
Well, it doesn't look like it's a lot of work. It looks flawless. It looks like
I know. That's what
you made
everyone
it look
says.
easy.
You're making it look so easy. Yeah, I think it's when you're doing something that gives you joy, something you're excited to do, considering the objectives, the children and the people who will be reading these stories, and how much it will mean to them and how much they stand to learn. I feel like you would give your all and you will find fun doing it. It's something I enjoy doing. So yeah, it hasn't felt as much of a stress like it actually is.
And you're not just you're not just an American business owner. This is an international business. I mean, you've got
Yeah,
creatives from all over the world. And then because it's an app, I'm sure that you've gotten people who've downloaded it from all over the world. Shout out to
all
Edleen
over.
Alba, who's joined us from Sierra Leone. It's good to see you, Edleen. Thank you for being here. I know Edleen has a daughter, so hopefully she'll download this app for her daughter as well. Now, do you have any plans to have the stories in other languages? Like
That's a future.
translated
Yeah,
into French or Spanish or Wolof
we we
or whatever,
we have
Creole.
we definitely have some of those things in on our agenda. But again, like every project, it's going to involve a lot of resource, a lot of money, a lot of time. So we're taking it one step at a time. I think that's what it is. There's a lot we want to do. It's like I said, the app is just a part of it. It's an entire project where we just want to preserve everything, the beautiful continent of Africa, the people, the tribes, the culture, the tradition. It's huge, right? So this is kind of the first phase of it, translating it, creating some other fun stuff that I'll probably not want to say right away. But yes, is one of the things we have in plan. Is just, we're taking it one step at a time based on the resource we have at hand here.
Don't you hate when people ask you about stuff that you're planning to do? You just out have like, give me a minute, let me get there. But I had a feeling someone would ask that question, so I decided to ask for them. So somebody has asked, how can we donate or partner?
Thank you so much for that question. You know how much that means to me. That's important. You can, we're looking for schools that we can work with, who would, use put the app on their portals. You can support us through donations. If you have a business, we can partner with you. We have a structure for that. And yeah, just donations, sponsorship, partnership, and in any form, as long as it's in some way supporting what we're doing. And then also share, create awareness, share the app with friends, tell somebody about it. But yes, in any way you can, we're completely open to your support.
So how can they reach out? Where should they reach out to?
Yeah, so we have our Instagram account, Rubies Africa. We also have email info@rubiesafrica.com. We're also on Facebook. We monitor all our, social media handles and make sure that we respond to everyone as soon as we can. So yeah, info@rubiesafrica.com, Instagram Rubies Africa.
Nice. Everybody, I want to see some let's see, I want to see some emojis. I don't know what kind of emojis, maybe a book emoji or something. I want you to drop something, or just say done. Drop the word done in the comments if you've downloaded the app. Drop the word done in the comments if you've subscribed. My goal was to get 20 subscriptions tonight to Rubies Africa.
Thank
And
you.
I know that there are at least 20 of you all watching right now that have some young people in your lives who could benefit from the Rubies Africa app. And I know all of you as adults could benefit from the Rubies Africa app too. So I really would love to see in the comments if you guys have at the very least downloaded the app, but go ahead and subscribe because it's phenomenal. It's beautiful, as you saw in the video. There are 30 stories and I think 20 poems right now. We support Black business at African Ancestry, and we love Africa at African Ancestry. So here's the perfect, intersection of supporting a Black business that loves Africa. with Rubies Africa. Is there anything that I haven't asked you, Titi, that I haven't celebrated about Rubies Africa that we have to make sure we tell the people before we jump off?
I think we've covered most of it, but again, I just want you to know that this app is celebrated like in a lot of countries. We study our analytics. We have people using it in the US, in the UK, in Nigeria, Ghana, Australia, and it's exciting which is one of our objectives, to make it available on a platform that is accessible to all. Like I said, there are lots of stories in hard copies, but these are digital books that anyone, anywhere, can make use of them. Schools, education organizations, electronic libraries, our app would, work on most of these platforms.
Yeah, so if anybody who's part of the family who's watching, if you are part of a library system, if you're part of a school system, reach out. Let's help spread the word, and everybody can share it. Everybody can share it with at least 5 people. My email was hacked today, TT. Unfortunately, it was hacked, and it sent an email to everybody I've ever emailed in life.
Wow.
Luckily, we caught it, and the attachment didn't do damage, but it made me realize how many people the only reason I knew is because people started emailing me and texting me and calling me. So even with a mistake, you can reach 20, 30, 100 people or more. So let's be intentional. And it's okay if you don't want the app. It's okay if you don't have if you don't use apps, share it. You can tell somebody, because I'm sure somebody who uses apps. And I want to thank you so much, Titi, for this work. Thank you for doing this work, because people ask us all the time, so what? What do I do now? Well, once you get your results, you can get the Rubies Africa app, and you can read some stories and learn about the cultures and traditions and values and beliefs in many different African countries. And that's thanks to you and your team. I know you don't do it alone. So thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
Everybody,
thank you so much, Gina.
Oh, of course. And I'm going to be talking to you to make sure that all these people, Kawana, Robert, Vicky, Toyo, Yakota, Simone, Blind Guy, his wife, their life, Marnie, Jeremiah, Emmanuel. Not that I don't believe y'all, but I'm gonna check with Titi to make sure that she sees subscription from you all. I'm just kidding. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us tonight. Listen, I don't know what to say about the pandemic and all the new variants and all that. I just know that I'm wearing my mask. I hope you all are wearing your mask. I'm continuing to social distance. I hope you all are social distancing. I'm continuing to support my immune system. I hope you all are continuing to support your immune system. And I am supporting my mental health and that of those people that I love. And I hope that you're doing the same. Until we meet again, may you be happy, may you be healthy, and may you be whole. Everybody have a very good night, and I'll see you next Wednesday, same time, well, at 7 o'clock, not 7:20, same place, Facebook and YouTube. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, Titi.
Bye.